श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ओम्। ॐ सुखं नित्यं सुप्रकाशं व्यापकं नामरूपयोः अधिष्ठानं बुद्ध्यबोध्यं बुद्धेर्दृक्यत्तु निर्मलम् अपारं सर्ववेदान्त वेद्यं प्रत्यक्परं महः तदेवाहं न मत्तोऽन्यत् इति मे निश्चिता मतिः. So we saw bahavo guravaha santi shishya vittapaharakaha durlabho ayam gururdevi shishya hritta apaharakaha. There we can understand that shishya hritta apakarakaha. I broke it like that, but shishya hrit tapaharakaha, that will be even better actually. Shishya hrit tapaharakaha. Shishya, disciples, hrit, hearts, tapa, torment, harakaha, one who removes. One who removes. Durlabho ayam Guru Devi. O goddess, O Devi, this kind of guru is very difficult to find. Who? The one who removes the torment of the disciples. Okay? Torment of heart of the disciples. No. Guru Bhaktehe Phalam 112. Yes, sir. Guru Bhaktehe Phalam, the result of devotion to Guru. ईश्वर अपेक्षया अपि अधिकतया श्रद्धा भक्ति प्रणामादिकं गुरौ शिष्येन कर्तव्यम्. So when I came for the first time to Romania, then Shambhu was asking me to have at least like satsang on this. And I was postponing, and in Horezo, one evening, we did it. Probably on Acharya Jayanti evening, I think. So, here we are seeing that specifically. Guru Bhaktehe Phalam, Ishvara Apekshaya Api. More than Ishvara, with respect to Ishvara, whatever devotion we have, whatever salutation we do, whatever Shraddha we have, with respect to that, it should be more to the Guru. That's why he says, Ishvara Apekshaya Api. With respect to Ishvara, even with respect to Ishvara, Adhikataya, more, we have to have what? Shraddha, surrender, bhakti, devotion, pranamadikam, salutation, etc. Okay? Guru Shishyena Kartavyam. To the Guru, the Shishya, disciple, should do. Kartavyam. He says Kartavyam. See the word karotu, like that. Or generally he says, okay, let him do. He says Kartavyam. He should. That's an order. That's a we call it vidhi in the tense where we use the injunction form. So that is Kartavyam. Okay. Yataha. Why should you do? Ishvara should be more respected, more, right? Why Guru? So he says, Yataha, because Akhila Shastra Vitpannopi Guru Upadesha Mantara Svatmatattvam na janiyat. See, in the Bhashya, Bhagavan Bhashyakara says this. He is taking that and he is presenting it in a different way. Shastra Vitpannopi Shastranveshanam Swayam na kuryat. That is what he says. Even though you may be expert in all the other Shastras, but Vedanta Shastra, we should not study on our own. That is what he says there. Now, based on that, he says, Yataha, why do you have to salute Guru more and have bhakti or surrender more? Because, Yataha, because Akhila Shastra Vitpannopi, though you may be expert in all the other Shastras, Akhila, complete, everything. Still, Guru Upadesha Mantra, without the teaching of Guru, without the instruction of the Guru, Swatma Tattvam na janiyat, he will not be able to understand his self. Swatma Tattvam, his reality, his truth. How do you know this? He is quoting this Shruti. Naisha tarkena matirapaneya, na esha matihi tarkena apaneya. That is how we have to understand. This matihi, this intellect, this knowledge, tarkena, through the logic, na apaneya, cannot be gained, should not be gained, cannot be gained. This knowledge of the self cannot be gained through logic. Then should we give up the logic completely? No, because inquiry needs logic. Just through logic, if you think I'll be able to gain without the aid of Shastra, that is mistake. That is what is pointed out here. And in Bhashya, with respect to this Kathopanishad statement, with respect to this statement, in Bhashya, he interprets it in two ways. Matir apaneya, apalru prapane is the root word, to gain. This knowledge should nag apaneya, it should not be gained through logic. This is one way of interpreting. And he himself interprets there, na apaneya, na apaneya, na apaneya. If you break na apaneya, it can be broken in both ways. Na apaneya, na apaneya. Na apaneya means you cannot negate, sideline this self through logic. You cannot refute this self through logic. You cannot gain this self through logic alone, but you can also not negate the self through logic. There is no self. You cannot negate it because you are negating your own self. How can you negate? I don't exist. Can you say that? No. So, Nayamatna pravachena labhya na medhaya na bahuna shrutena. And Kathopanishad again says, na ayam atma, the self, na pravachenena labhya, cannot be gained through lectures. Na medhaya, cannot be gained through memory power or intellect. Na bahuna shrutena, cannot be gained after listening again and again multiple times. Meaning, without the Shraddha, Bhakti, etc., this knowledge cannot be gained. That is the idea. Okay? Now, Acharyavan Purusho Veda, Chandogya Upanishad says, this is our motto. The Shastra Netralaya, below Shastra Netralaya, above we write this statement, Acharyavan Purusho Veda. Acharyavan Purusho Veda means the person, Purusha, the person who has the guru, Acharyavan, who has a guru, Veda understands. A person who has a preceptor understands this. Okay. Acharyat eva vidya vidita sadishtam prapat. And this, see, sadishtam prapat. So, previously it says only the person who has a teacher, master understands. Here he says only if you gain through a guru, Acharya, only when you gain this knowledge through a guru, it will gain establishment. You will be able to gain establishment in that self. Otherwise, you will know, okay, academicians, they know, they can talk more deeper into this subject, but the problem is they can never be established in the self. They don't have the prerequisites. They just understand it logically, intellectually. There was one Pandit who is very well versed in Vedanta. But he says, when I enter the house, my mind goes to the place where my wife used to sit. His wife passed away and he was very old. He says, the moment I enter the house, my eyes go to the place where she will be waiting for me, sitting there and waiting for me. So that vairagya, viveka, etc., do not exist in them, the academicians. So, it says, ayam eva arthaha, this very meaning, vakshyamana drishtantena sputikriyate, is explained through the example which is going to be presented. Vakshyamana, we are going to explain that example. We are going to say that example. What is that example? Tathahi, this is the example. Vedarupa samudro guru upadesha abhave ksharo bhavati. Ksharasagare patitah tad jalam pitva kevalam dukhameva anubhavati. Yatha tatha. First, yatha means like, then tatha similarly. So, first the example, like Vedarupa samudraha. Veda is like an ocean. The ocean that is of the form of Veda, or the Veda that is of the form of ocean, The Vedas, that is of the form of ocean. Guru Upadesha Abhave, when there is absence of the teaching of Guru, when you don't gain this from the Guru, then Ksharo Bhavati becomes alkaline, becomes salty. You cannot use it for anything, whether cooking or drinking. Ksharasagare patitah tad jalam pitva kevalam dukkhameva anubhavati. A person who falls into the ocean of the salty ocean, when he falls into it and drinks the water, he is not going to enjoy it. He is going to suffer. It is going to sting his eyes. After some time, the skin is going to be very itchy. He is not going to enjoy that. What is this? Veda is like ocean. And without the Guru, that water of the ocean will become salty. Then if Guru picks up that water, will it become sweeter or what? Ocean water is salty. It cannot become sweet, right? That is the logic we need to remember. Remember this. I'll explain that later. So, tatha Guru Upadesham Vinaiva Shastrantra Kushalapi Swatantrena Vedantartham Vicharayantah Guru Sampradaya Abhavat Veda Eva Sarva Vedarthamiti Mati Vibhava Anusarena Nischitya Veda Rupa Kshara Jalam Eva Aswadya Janana Marana Prabandhatmaka Dukkham Eva Avishamam Anubhavanti. Natu mukti rupa nitya nirudishyanandam labhante. Beautiful. Tatha, similarly, like this fellow who falls into the ocean of the salty ocean is not going to enjoy it. Similarly, Guru Upadesham Vinaiva, without the teaching of Guru, without the instruction of Guru, Shastra Antara Kushalopi, maybe he is expert in the other Shastras. He's not talking, he knows Shastras. Kushalaha, expert. He may be expert in all the other Shastras. Sanskrit, expert. Logic, expert. Purimamsa, the Vedic mantras, expert. But still, Swatantrena Vedartham Vicharayanta, if he is going to inquire into the Vedas meaning, the Vedanta, all by himself, Swatantrena, independently, without approaching the Guru, then Guru Sampradaya Abhavat, because there is no traditional knowledge there. There is no knowledge which is gained through tradition. Therefore, Bheda eva sarva vedartha iti. So, mati vibhavas anusarena nischitya. He will determine, nischitya, he will determine what? Bheda eva sarva vedartha. The Vedanta establishes only duality. That is what he'll understand. How? Swamati vibhavena, according to the intellectual prowess he has, the intellectual power he has. Oh, this is duality, that is duality. It's very clear. So he will establish that, he will determine that the Vedas are teaching him duality, not non-duality. This will be the problem. If we don't follow the tradition, this will be the problem. Nischitya, I'll come to this again. Bheda Rupa Kshara Jalam Eva Aswadya. Therefore, he will be drinking only the salty water of the nature of duality. Janana Marana Prabandhatmaka Dukkham Eva Ashvanti. Therefore, he is going to experience sorrow of the nature of birth and death. Natu Mukti Rupa Nitya Nirudeshya Anandam Labate. He is not going to ever gain the Mukti, liberation of the nature of eternal absolute bliss. He is not going to gain the nature of eternal absolute bliss. Let us understand this again. I said yesterday, Acharya. Acharya means Achunotihi Shastrartham Acharye Sthapyatyapi Swayam Acharate Yastat Yaha Yasmad Acharyastena Katyate. There is a shloka which is said in other places that who is an Acharya. I explained it in simple way. Achinoti Acharati Acharyati. That is from the shloka. one who collects the meaning of the teachings of Vedas and practices all himself and makes others practice is who is called as Acharya. Okay. Now, I collect the meaning of Vedas and then I practice it myself also. There is no issue there. But when the disciples come to this guru, he says, you are not eligible for that. It's like in schools. I don't know here if there is an equivalent here. In schools, when we don't study properly, our teachers used to scold us. You are only fit for herding the sheep or shepherding. That's all. You are not good for study. They used to scold us. Now, that example, take it here. You go to the guru and the guru says, oh, you are not fit for Vedanta. You are fit for only duality. So do this duality. Then how can he be called as Acharya? Acharya means he collects, he practices, and he makes others practice the same truth, not dilute it. So the only tradition I see which is eligible to be called as Acharya is Acharya Bhagavan Bhashyakara Shankaracharya's tradition. No one else are capable of being referred to as Acharya. Though other than Shankaracharya, they call Ramanujacharya. Ramanuja also is called as Acharya. Madhvacharya. Ramanuja is the proponent of the semi-duality school. Okay. Semi-non-duality, whichever way you want to see. Like they say, half cup empty or half cup full, whichever way you want to see, you can see. And the Madhvacharya, he is very clear, duality. I am different, Ishvara is different, world is different. There is no non-duality here. He is come. So these people, they were great proponents, they were great acharyas accepted by many people, but the problem is, I don't see them to be acharya. The reason is, they, as he says here, what? They have not followed the tradition. They may be experts in other Vedanta, other schools, but they have not followed the traditions. Both of them, stories say, both Madhvacharya and Ramanujacharya, they went to a guru, studied Vedanta. They said, no, this is not right. They started a school of duality, of non-duality, of semi-duality. Now, people will explain, oh, at that period of time, the people were not really interested in, or they were just spending their time talking about Vedanta, not practicing any Vedanta. So, therefore, they also left the puja, etc. That is why he had to bring this, revive the system. That is the most stupid logic. It is like our teacher said, you are only fit for herding the sheep. You don't even give us a chance. Then how can that be? So that is why Acharya means Bhagavan Bhashyakara. And Gukaro hi andhakarasya drukarastan nivartakaha brahma andhakara nashitvat guru ityuchyate buddhaihi. Guru, the term guru is explained. I am not reading it from there. The term guru is explained as gu means andhakara, darkness. Ru means one who destroys it. So, one who destroys the darkness which wields the self is Guru. One who destroys the darkness, the ignorance, darkness of ignorance, wielding the self is a Guru. Okay. Now, this Guru, he says, Vedartham vicharyanto Guru Sampraya abhavat. Since, see, Bhagavan Bhashyakara in his Bhashya very clearly says, Asampradayavit murkavad upekshaniyaha. That's a statement from Bhashya. He says, Asampradayavit, a person who has not studied from the tradition. How should he be treated? We saw, oh, he may be liberated. He may be liberated, but he is not eligible to be a guru because he cannot teach you a path. He does not know the path. He just got it mystically, so he cannot teach you, guide you properly. So that is why categorically Bhagavan Bhashyakara says a person who does not who has not studied into the tradition, who does not understood, who didn't understand the self through the tradition, should be discarded as an idiot. Murkhavad upekshaniya. He should be just discarded. You should not give him any importance. So here, why should he go on to say murkhavad like an idiot? Because we have this soft heart and we give this benefit of doubt and you give benefit of doubt to the other person, but the one who is falling is you. One who is losing is you. So he says he will never gain mukti. He will never gain the absolute bliss if he is going to follow this world of duality, the school of duality. Okay. Now, Jiva Brahma Aikya Upadeshta Eva Guru iti Guru Lakshan Nirupitam. We have already explained. We have already established. When we defined who is a guru, there we have already defined that the one who teaches you the identity between the Jiva and Brahma, the identity between the individual self and the absolute self is the guru, no one else. We said this, right? So, Tadrishat Akhanda Brahma Atma Brahmatma Ekavidah Sadguroho Mukhad Ye Vedanta Vicharam Kurvanti Te Devamrutadapi Adhikam Nirutishyam Brahmanandam Anubhavanti. So he says, Tadrishat, from that kind of person, Akhanda Brahmatmaikatva Vidaha. What kind of person? A person who knows the absolute self, the identity between the individual self and the absolute self. One who knows that. Sadguru, who is referred to as Sadguru. From him means Mukhad, from his lips, from his mouth. Veda Vicharam Kurvanti, one who does the inquiry into the Vedanta. What will happen to him? Those people, Devamrutadapi Adhikam, even more better than the nectar, elixir. Nirutishyam Brahmanandam, they experience the absolute bliss of the self. Now, okay, but whether I am going to study it from the Vedanta text or Vedas, or the Guru is going to give me from the Vedas, it's all same. Ocean water is going to be salty, whether I take it myself or I take it from some other person. It's all going to be same, right? That's a good logic. So he says that is not true. How? Yatha swabhavatah ksharam samudra jalam patrina grihitva pitanchet ksharame bhavati. See, swabhavatah, naturally, ksharam samudra jalam, the ocean water is a salty. Naturally, it is salty. So, patrina grihitva pitanchet. Patrina, with a vessel, if you are going to collect it and you drink it, it will be salty. So if Guru takes it in a vessel and gives it to you, will it be tasting nectar? No, we are not talking about that. He says, Tada eva samudra jalam. Tadeva samudra jalam, the same ocean water. Megahi akrishya vrishtam sat pitam cheta. If it is collected through the vapor and they become cloud, and that cloud, when it rains, the same water of ocean, they are collected as clouds and they are now falling as rain. That water, ati madhuram bhavati, becomes very sweet. Same salty water becomes sweet. So, तथा similarly, वेदार्थो अपि स्वातंत्र्येण गुरु संप्रदायं विना विचारितश्चेत् जनन मरण दुःख हेतुर्भवति. Similarly, if we are going to inquire into the Vedantic text all by ourselves without the aid of Guru, then we are going to go round and round in the cycle of birth and death, the samsara. स एव अद्वैत ब्रह्मात्मा अप्रोक्ष अनुभवी श्री सद्गुरु मुखात अवाप्यते चेत. But that very statement, that very Vedanta, if it is going to be grasped through the Sadguru who understand, who has the immediate knowledge of the self, Shri Sadguru. When you receive it from Shri Sadguru who has the immediate knowledge of that self, then what happens? Nitya Nirdeshi Aproksha Akhanda Ananda Surupa Atma Adhigamaya Bhavati. It becomes a means to understand the self, which is of the nature of a absolute bliss, eternal, non-dual. The same teaching becomes a means to release you from this bondage. It will not push you into the bondage. That is the difference. See, Guru means one who dispels the ignorance, not imposes his own ignorance on you. So, tasmat, therefore, Guru Mukhadeva Vedartho Grahya Vedikaina. A person who follows the tradition should grasp the teaching of Vedanta from Guru only. Guru alone. No one else. Okay, now 113. Brahmajnat Guror Eva Vedartho Grahya. So, whatever he said, we have to study the Vedanta, we have to understand the Vedanta only from the Guru. Now he is explaining that the Guru who knows the self, only from him the Vedantic text should be heard, listened. Yatha Dhruti Mukhadva Ghata Mukhadva Gruhitam Samudra Jalam. So Vilakshana Rasa Aswadana Hetur na bhavati. So whatever he said earlier, he is giving the same example. Dhruti Mukhad means Dhruti means, see, earlier they used to carry water in a water bag, which is a leather bag. Okay, so it's made of skin. So whether you drink water from that bag or Ghata Mukhadva, or drink the water from the pot. What kind of water? Water from where? Samudra Jalam. The ocean water, whether you take it from the bag, leather bag, or you drink it from the pot. So Vilakshana Rasa Aswada Hetunvati does not give you a different taste. It will be salty. Whether you take it from leather bag or take it from the pot, it's going to be salty. Tatha, similarly, Agnya Purusha Mukhad Grihitam Veda Rupa Rasa Veda Rupa Samudrasya Artha Rupam Jalam Vilakshana Ananda Janakam Nabhati. Similarly, from a person who is ignorant, who does not have the immediate knowledge, a person who is ignorant, who does not have the immediate knowledge, from him, if you are going to receive the water, which is of the nature of the teaching of Vedanta, then it is not going to give you any bliss. Any different taste means any bliss. Tasmat, therefore, Ajnaha Pathaka Gurur Dhruti Ghatadi Samaha. The ignorant teacher is like the leather bag or a pot. The ignorant teacher is like a leather bag or a pot. The teacher who does not have the immediate knowledge is like a leather bag or a pot. That knowledge which you receive from them is not going to change you in any which way. It may instill an interest to understand the truth and push you towards that, but nothing else. It cannot give you directly the immediate knowledge. Jnani Guru Mega Samayiti Praguktam. And we have already said the Guru who has gained the immediate knowledge is like a cloud. Tasma, therefore, Mukshu Dhrutikatari Tulyam Ajnapathaka Guru Hitva Megatulya Brahmagya Guru Mukhad Vedartha Shravanam Kuryat. Therefore, this seeker should give up this Guru who is like a leather bag or like a pot and take refuge in the person who has the immediate knowledge, who is like the cloud. Okay. So he Vedartha, only from him he should have to study the Vedanta. Vedartha means the Vedanta. Okay. How do you know this? Why do you say that you have to go to that Guru only and study? So for that he says, Mundaka Upanishad, Tad Vignartham sa Gurumeva Bhigachet Samit Panihi Shrotriyam Brahma Nishtham. Tad Vignartham, to know that self, Sa Gurum Eva Abhigachet. These three words we interpret it in three different ways. Sa Gurum Eva Abhigachet. Sa Gurum Abhigachet. These three words. Eva is the only word which is left. Eva means alone. Sa, he, Gurum, Guru, Abhigachet, approach. He, Guru, approach. Alone is one word. I am associating with each one of them. He alone should approach the Guru. He alone should approach the Guru. First meaning. He should approach definitely, alone or definitely. He should definitely approach the Guru. Third, he should definitely approach Guru alone. He should approach the Guru alone. So, he alone should approach the Guru. He should definitely approach the Guru. He should approach the Guru alone only. So, the person who is eligible with prerequisites should go to the Guru and not the others. The person who has gained the Guru prerequisites should only go to the Guru and not anyone else. This is the idea we gain from there. Tad Vignartham, to know that he should have to go to the Guru. How should he approach the Guru? That attitude is said here. What is that? Samit Panihi Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Samit Panihi, with the twigs in his hand, meaning something to offer him. So, with his in his hand, Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam, he should have to approach the Guru. What kind of Guru is he? Is Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. Shrotriyam means he has studied in a tradition. That we saw as a Veda, one who has studied the Vedas and the Vedanta from the tradition. And Brahmanishtam, who is established in that, who has the immediate knowledge of that. And I explain it in two ways. Brahmani Nitaram Tishtati Brahmanishta or Brahma Eva Satyati Nishtha Brahmanishta. Meaning one who is always established in the Brahman, or the one who, even if it is immediate knowledge, who completely accepts that there is nothing other than the absolute self. That is one who has complete surrender to the teacher and Vedanta. Only he can do that. That surrender, that complete acceptance can be gained only through the surrender to the Guru and Vedanta, not anyone else. So, Ityadi Shruti Smrti. Like this, there are so many Shrutis and Smritis. Smrti. Upadekshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattva darshinaha. To him, to that person who has the prerequisites, the jnani, the one who has the immediate knowledge, one who understands the truth, he will give the teaching. To that person who has the qualification, to him, they will give the teaching of the non-dual self. Only to him. It is also said this is from Bhagavad Gita. It is also said very clearly in Bhagavad Gita final, that person should not be adamant, etc. The arrogance, adamants, etc. should not be there in that disciple. And that kind of person should not be given the knowledge. Okay, now 114. Paurushe prabandhadapi jnanam jayeta. Okay, so what do we understand here? That we should have to study the Vedic meaning from the Guru. Only Vedas? Then what about the text? What about this very text? This is written by someone. Vedas are not written by someone, but this is written by someone. Therefore, the knowledge cannot be gained. The immediate knowledge cannot be gained through text like this. So, why are you writing this text? Why are we studying this text? So, for that he says, Paurushaya prabandhadapi jnanam jayeta. Even through the text written by people, the knowledge can be gained. The knowledge definitely take place. How? Brahmavid mukhadeva vedartho grahitavya iti पूर्वावर्ते उक्तत्वाद् वेदांत वाक्यार्थ विचारेणैव जीववर्म ऐक्य ज्ञानं जायेत न तु इतरैः पौरुषैः संस्कृत ग्रन्थैः वा भाषा प्रबन्धैः वा इति सिद्धम्. Brahmavid mukhadeva vedartho grahitavya. Only from the person with immediate knowledge, the Vedantic teaching, the Vedas, the teaching of Vedas should be accepted, grasped. Iti purvavarte siddham. We established this in the previous paragraph, previous topic. As it is said, uktatvat, as it was established there, Vedanta vakyartha vicharenaiva jivarmaikyam jnana jayata. Only through the inquiry into the Vedantic meaning, the teaching of Vedanta, the Vedantic statements, you can gain the immediate knowledge of a individual self, the identity between individual self and absolute self. The immediate knowledge of the identity between the individual self and the absolute self. This is known. This is understood. Natu itraihi paurushaya. Therefore, it is also implied that not through any other text written by some person, whether it be in Sanskrit or it be in any other language. This is understood here. That means explaining it in Sanskrit or English should not generate the immediate knowledge. Explaining it in Sanskrit or English should not generate the immediate knowledge. That is the idea we give. So for that he says, Asya prabandhasya paurushayatvad arambho vyartha iti ashankam uchyate. So this text is written by a person. Therefore, you should not begin this text because the knowledge is not going to anyway gain through this text. The immediate knowledge cannot be gained through this text. Why do you begin this text? Stop writing this. Iti shankam, this kind of doubt can arise in somebody's mind. To negate that, he says, Sa yoha vai tat param brahma veda brahmaiva bhavati ityadi shrutya brahmavit jnani brahmaiva. See, the Shruti very clearly says, Sa yoha vai tat param brahma veda brahmaiva bhavati. The one who understands that absolute self is the absolute self, not becomes the absolute self, is verily the absolute self, without any doubt. The one who understands, knows the absolute self is verily the absolute self. Okay, so therefore, Ata eva jnani brahma. Therefore, Brahma jnani brahma, the knower of self, that liberated soul is Brahman itself. Okay, I understood that in this way through the Vedic statement itself. What do you want to establish? Ata eva. That is why tasya vak veda rupa eva. His statements are Veda themselves. Since the knower of the self is Brahman itself, his words are, his statements are Vedas themselves. Such a vak Sanskrit rupa va astu bhasha prabandhadi rupa va astu. Whether he speaks in Sanskrit or he speaks in any other language, Sarvatha tasya vachanam bheda brahmam nivartayati nishesham. Always, whatever languages he uses, does not really matter. Always, those statements have the potency to completely annihilate the erroneous knowledge of duality. Completely annihilates the erroneous knowledge of duality. There's no choice here. So, nano. But even after we explain this, always there will be nanu nacha. There will be doubt from others. So he says, but. What is that but? वेदांत विज्ञान सुनिश्चितार्थाः तन्तो उपनिषदं पुरुषम् इत्यादि श्रुतिभिः वेदवाक्यादेव ब्रह्मज्ञानं जायेत न तु प्रमाणभूतैः अपि प्रबन्धान्तरैः इति चेत्. But the Vedic statements, what are the Vedic statements? Vedanta Vijnana Sunischitarthaha, the people who have determined knowledge of the Vedic teaching. This from a Mundaka mantra. Vedanta Vijnana Sunischitarthaha Sanyasa Yoga Yatayash Suddha Sattvaha te Brahma Loke Tupara Antaka Lepramratat Parimuchanti Sarve Takhram Vipapam Parameshva Bhutam Yat Pundarikam Puramasyagastam. This is the mantra we chant when we invite the sannyasi to the house, when we invite the monk to the house. This is the mantra. These people who have clear, determined knowledge of the teaching of Vedas, Vedanta, it's very clearly said in the Upanishad. Okay, and Tanto Upanishadam Purusham. The statement of Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, Tanto Upanishadam Purusham Pruchami. I am asking about the Purusha explained, established in the Upanishads. I am asking about the Purusha established in the Upanishad, not somewhere else, not in your text. So, Ityadi Shrutibihi, from these Vedic statements, Vedavakyadev Brahmajnanam Jayeta. It is very clear that only from the statements of Vedas the knowledge can take place. Natu pramana bhutai api prabandhantrahi. Even if it is loaded with valid proofs, the other text in other languages cannot give you immediate knowledge. That is what we understand from these statements. Iti chet, if you say so, nah, don't say that. That is wrong. Why? Tatha adarshanat, as it is not seen to be so. You cannot say that because it is not seen to be so. How? Beautiful example. Ayurveda ukta roga tan nidana sthana aushadadinam jnanam itara samskrita vaidya granthaihi प्राकृत भाषादि ग्रंथैश्च यथा समम एव उत्पद्यते तथा सर्वेषां प्रत्यक्ष चैतन्य अभिन्न अद्वितीय ब्रह्मज्ञानमपि पौरुषे ग्रंथैः अपि जायते एव. Beautiful example, and is establishing whatever he wants. The exemplified is the answer to this question is he says sarvesham pratyak chaitanya bhinna advitiya brahmajnanapi. For all, the knowledge of the absolute self, the identity of the absolute self with the individual self, Paurushe Grantsepi Jayate, can take place even through the text written by people. How? Now understand the example. Yatha, like Ayurveda Uktaroga. In the Ayurvedas, disease, the cause for disease, the medicine to remove the disease, all of them are explained very clearly. What is the disease? How did it come from? Where did it come from? How does it affect your body? All these are explained in the Ayurvedic text. And what language is it written? Of course, Sanskrit. Charaka Samhita, etc. is written in Sanskrit. It is written in Sanskrit. But is it written only in Sanskrit? it is written in Sanskrit. Since many people don't understand the language of Sanskrit, it is translated in the other languages, whether it be English or it be in Hindi or Tamil or whatever language, it is translated into other languages, right? So I see a disease. For this disease, this is the medicine. Okay, good. For pitta, it says, okay, this mint leaves are the medicine. I say mint leaves. Somebody says pudina. Somebody says some other name. But if you read, okay, pudina is the medicine. Okay, I'll take pudina. Oh, pudina. What does pudina? I don't understand. What is that? Oh, mint leaves. Okay. So if you understand the disease, pitta, I don't understand what is pitta. Biliousness. Okay, biliousness. That is the disease. Why is it caused? It is caused because of the heat. Okay. 2. 3. How do we remove it? Through this pudina. What is pudina? Mint leaves. 3. How should it be taken? This kind of dose. 4. I take it whether I understand it through Sanskrit, Hindi, Tamil, whatever language it may be. Does not really matter. I understand the disease. I understand the medicine. I take the proper precaution. I take the proper medicine. Disease is going to be cured. Whether I have a headache, if I have a headache, whether the doctor gives me Saridon, a painkiller, paracetamol or whatever that is, or the medical shop fellow gives, or a kiosk fellow gives, somebody who is fellow traveler, he is illiterate. Somebody gave me this medicine for headache. If you want, you can take. Or any which way, whoever gives that, it is going to remove the headache. So, but I'm not even talking the cause for the disease, etc. That is a different issue. So, if you understand that in any different language, does not really matter. You will understand the cause, right? So, he says, Ayurvedokta roga tannidana sana aushadadinam. Whatever is said in the Ayurveda, the disease, the cause for the disease, wherever it is, whatever is it is affecting, and the medicine for it, that jnanam, that knowledge, itara samskrita prabandha vaidya granthaihi prakrita bhashadi granthaicha. So whether it is understood through the Sanskrit text or any other vernacular, yatha samam eva utpadyate. The knowledge takes place in the same way. Whether you understand through Sanskrit or you understand through other language, does not really matter. The knowledge you gain is same. And the disease gets relieved in the same way. Similarly, whether you understand this Vedantic teaching through the Sanskrit text or any other text written by any person does not really matter, because the person who understands the self is verily the self, and his words are Vedic statements. Therefore, there is no issue here. Ata eva. That is why Sarvajnihi Munibihi Maharshibihi Brahmanishthaihi Vedantartha Anuvadakaihi Smrti Itihasa Puranadi Bahugranthaihi Advitiya Brahmatma Vidya Sputam Vivruta Vartate. That is the reason. Because of this reason, that it is not just through the Vedas, it can be gained through text written by others also. For this very reason, Sarvajnihi Munibihi, the monks who have understood the self, the omniscient monks. Sarvajnihi means the omniscient monks, Maharshis, the saints, Brahmanishthaihi, the people who are established in the self, the liberated people, Vedatartha Anuvadakaihi, those people take the essence of the teaching of Vedas and they literally give the meaning, not verbatim, but literally take the meaning and write it in their text, like Smrtis, Itihasa, histories, mythological text, Purana, the other mythological text, Iti Bahu Granthaihi. In this way, there are multiple texts they have written. And through all these texts, Advitiya Brahmatma Vidya Sputam Vivruta Bhavati. They have explained it clearly. What? The non-dual absolute self. They explained clearly the non-dual absolute self through different texts. Written by whom? The greater liberated souls, Maharshis, etc. Okay. Vina Upanishada Jnanam Chen na utpadyeta tada taihi smrityadi pranenam vyartham prayachati. If you still say, no, without the Vedas, the knowledge will not take place. If you still stick to that, then these texts which are written by those great people becomes redundant, useless. Why did they write? It's just waste of papers, nothing else. So, tasma, therefore, Upanishad Atma Virodhena Atma Swarupa Pratipadana Paraihi Yehi Kaischit Api Granthaihi Jnanam Jayata Evaiti Abhyugantam. Therefore, you should have to accept. You should have to accept. Accept what? Upanishadam Avirodhena. That which is not contradictory to the Upanishad teaching. That which establishes the non-duality between the individual self and the absolute self. That, whether it is written in any language by anyone, does not really matter. If a text, whether it is written by anyone or in any language, but if it is not in contradiction with the Vedic teaching, then it will definitely give you the knowledge. That is what we have to understand, accept. Tat pratipadaka vakyani vaidikani va santu bhashantarabhutani va santu naivasti vishesha. That those statements which are written by these people, whether they be based on the Vedic statements, literally or verbatim, or they use that knowledge and write it in their own words in their own language, does not really matter. Whether they write it in through their own words and their own language, or they take it verbatim or literally from the Vedas, does not really matter. That will definitely give you knowledge. Evam cha paurushe granthaihi api jnanam jayate iti siddham. Therefore, it is clearly established that even through the text written by people, the knowledge will take place. It need not be the Vedas. It need not be just the Upanishads. It can be text written based on the Upanishads. There is no issue. Even through that, you can gain the knowledge. 150. He says, Shri Guru Seva. How should we serve the Guru? That is explained in 115. How do we serve the Guru? Yasya Brahma Vidaha Vak Vedavakya Sama Tameva Brahma Vidam Acharyam Buddhya Upasita Jignasu. This knower of self, whose words are verily the Vedic statements, that person, only that person, who is the knower of self, the Acharya, who is the knower of self, the person who desires to gain the knowledge should worship. The person who desires to gain the knowledge should worship that knower of self, who is the Acharya, who is the Guru, who gives the knowledge of the non-duality. Okay? How? Yad upasanaya, why? Yad upasanaya gurur avarjito bhavati tada jignasuhu nijaswarupam aprokshi karoti. So, if he pleases the Guru through the worship, then this seeker, Jignasu, one who desires to know, Jignasu, the one who desires to know, that seeker gains the immediate knowledge of the self. Yetena Guru Seva Abhyadika Ishvara Sevatah iti siddhyati. With this, we understand that the service to the Guru is greater than the service to the God. Why? Service to Guru is greater than service to God. How can you say that? He is establishing that in a text called Swarajya Siddhi. In a text called Swarajya Siddhi, the last few shlokas are devoted to establishing the supremacy of Guru, the greatness of Guru, with respect to Brahma, Vishnu, and Maheshwara. Whether it is Shiva, my Guru is greater than Shiva because he is explaining that. My Guru is greater than Vishnu because whatever Vishnu's nature, he is superior than that. My Guru is greater than Brahma because he will explain that. Now here he says, Ishvara Seva Adrishta Phala Matra Hetuhu. Sadguru Seva to Drishta Drishta Ubhaya Phala Hetuhu. See, if you are going to serve, worship Ishvara, that service is just going to give you the result for hereafter. Adrishta means punya. Adrishta can either be punya or papa, but service to the Ishvara cannot give you papa. If you are going to worship God, he is not going to give you sin. So, worshipping God is going to, whichever God, it is going to give you punya. So, he says, only you gain only the punya, which is a result not seen, not perceived physically. You cannot experience that result immediately. But Sadguru Sevatu Drishta Drisha Ubhaya Phala Hetuhu. The service to the Guru gives you a perceivable result and the unperceived result. Not non-perceivable result. Perceivable result and unperceived result. How? So he says, explain. Dharma dharma utpatti dwara phala hetuhu yo bhavati so adrushta phala hetu iti. Dharma dharma utpatti vinaiva sakshat phala hetuhu yo bhavati sa drishta phala hetu iti cha uchyate. What is drishta phala and what is adrushta phala? Drishta phala means you see the result. Adrushta phala means you cannot see the result. This is the simple explanation. How do I see the result and how do I not see the result? Why do you call it drishta phala and adrushta phala? He says, dharma dharma utpatti dwara phala hetur yo bhavati so adrushta phala hetu. Adrushta phala, non-perceived result means by producing the punya and papa, that which gives the result. You serve, you gain punya or papa, and that punya or papa gives you result. That is adrushta, indirect, non-perceived result. Okay? Now, dharma dharma uppatti vinaiva sakshat phala hetur yo bhavati. Without producing dharma or adharma, punya or papa, that we directly gives you the result. Okay. When we do a fire oblation, you throw whatever fire oblation material into the fire and pray, and what happens? This creates a punya and you will experience it in another future life. Maybe this life, but or future life, definitely. But there is a person in front of you. You slap him. That is not going to create a punya or papa and give you suffering later. He is going to give you the immediate result. So, even slap, if that fellow is going to, okay, just suffer your slapping. Then that slapping which you did is going to give a papa which you have to experience in another life. But if he gives you result directly, there is no papa intermediate. Immediate result. So similarly, serving the Guru can give you immediate result or future results. So how? Ata eva Ishvara seva dharmotpatti dwara antakarana shuddhi rupa phala hetur bhavati. See, Ishvara seva, serving the Ishvara, will produce a punya. By generating a punya, by generating a good karma, it will give you purity of heart and therefore will become means for liberation. Okay, so Ateva Ishvara Seva Adrishta Phalahetu. That is why Ishvara Seva is a serving the Ishvara is a unperceived result. Sadguru Seva too, but serving the Sadguru, it is perceived and non-perceived. How? He says, Dharma Nirapeksha Acharya Prasada Matrena Upadeshatmaka Phalahetu Bhavati. When you serve him, he does not depend upon the dharma, adharma, etc. and give you future result. He sees you serving. Serving means showing your proper attitude. When he sees you showing the proper attitude, then what does he do? He teaches you. He teaches you the non-dual self. Immediate result. It does not produce a punya papa and then, no, you can see a perceivable result. But does that mean the purity of heart cannot be gained through that? Does that mean the purity of heart cannot be gained through that? For that he says, Tasmad Drishtafala Hetu Sadguru Seva Ityuchate. Therefore, we say the service to the Guru is an immediate result. Kincha, but also, moreover, Sadguru Seva Dharmotpatti Dwara Antakarana Shuddhi Rupa Phala Hetuscha Ishvara Seva Bhavati. Serving the Guru is similar to serving the Ishvara. In which way? That it produces the purity of heart and makes you eligible for the knowledge. Like serving the Ishvara, like worshipping the Ishvara, worshipping the Guru produces the purity of heart which makes you eligible for the knowledge. So, serving makes you eligible for the knowledge. Serving also gives you the knowledge. Serving the Guru makes you eligible by giving you purity of heart. Serving the Guru gives you the knowledge because he becoming happy gives you the non-dual knowledge. Ataha. Therefore, adrishta phala heturapi bhavati. Therefore, serving the Guru is produces both the perceivable result and the non-perceivable result. Okay? Etena. Acharya seva hi Ishvara upasanatah adhikatara vijñayate. Therefore, it is understood clearly that the service to the Guru is superior than the service to the or worshipping the Ishvara. Tasmat, therefore, sarvatha jignasu mukshubhi Shri Sadguru Varo Brahmanishta eva sada sevyaha. Therefore, always this person who is a seeker, who desires liberation, should serve the Guru. Okay. Guru Seva Kramaha 116. Guru Seva Kramaha. Guru Seva Kramaha means the steps or the method to worship the Guru. How should you worship the Guru? I keep repeating. I tell this. You have to do something in which way the Guru remembers you. Because seeing is an initiation. Seeing is an initiation. Touching is an initiation. Then there are different levels of initiation. So, Diksha, we call it. Initiation is Diksha. So, Chakshur Diksha, seeing. Guru Kataksha, etc. That is what we say. The side glance of the Guru itself is powerful enough to liberate us. Then should we even talk about the direct glance? Like that we say. So, that is Chakshur Diksha. Then, touching Sparsha Diksha. Then, thinking about is Smarana Diksha. Okay. So, if the Guru thinks about you, that is a kind of initiation. Now, my guru will never forget me. Why? Because I flipped his pen. He's going to always think about me. Oh, that fellow, he flipped my pen. He stole my pen. No, that is not the way you make the guru remember you. So, because people, when you say something, they immediately, oh, I'll make him remember me. Okay, I know. So that is not the way. So he says how to serve. That should also be taught. So he says Guru Seva Kramaha. Sri Sadguru Labha Uttarakshane Tad Darshna Matrat Sashtangam Namaskritya Tat Charana Kamala Rajamsi Parishuddhatamani Swa Uttama Ange Dharayet. Shri Sadguru Labha Uttarakshane. After seeing the Guru, the next second after seeing the Guru, gaining the Guru means seeing the Guru. Tad Darshna Matrat. After gaining the Guru, just the first sight you see him. Sashtangam Namaskritya. You should have to salute with all your 8 limbs touching the ground. There are 2 ways to do that. There is a way for men and there is a way for women. The men, they salute, they fall like a stick. That is Sa Ashtanga. Okay. The women, they fall like a broken stick. They kneel down and fall. That is how the women should do Namaskara. So, this is Sashtanga Namaskara. Okay. Sa Ashta Anga is Sashtanga. Means your 8 limbs of the body should touch the ground. Your feet, your knee, your chest, your chin, your head, your hands. All these parts should touch the ground. Okay, that is Namaskara. After doing Namaskara, he says, Tat Charana Kamala Rajamsi. Raja means the dust. The dust particle from the Charana Kamala, the lotus feet. The dust particle from the lotus feet, Parishuddha Tamani, which are very pure. That Swa Uttamange Dharayeta, in your superior place. What is the superior limb in your body? Head. For the whole body, head is the superior limb. So, in that superior limb, you should have to apply. Okay. Paschat. Afterwards, Sadguru Prasadad Bandhamochana Akankshi Tivratara Mukshuhu Gurukule Brahmachari Vasit. Later, by gaining the grace of this Guru, this person who desires to get liberated from the bondage of samsara, a person who has a very serious desire for knowledge, should stay in the Gurukula. Gurukula means with the Guru and understand the teaching. He should have to make time for staying with the Guru to understand the teaching. Tasmai swasharira mano vak dhanadini samarpayet. To him, you should have to surrender. Surrender what? Samarpayet. Tasmai samarpayet. To him, you have to surrender. Surrender what? Swa sharira, your body. Swa mana, your mind. Swa vak, your organ of speech. Dhanani, and the wealth. Body, mind, speech, mind. That with respect to yourself. Dhanadi, the possessions. Now, what is that dhanadini? You have to understand, because you are talking about a guru who is a monk. If guru is a grahasti, is a family man, then you have to support things for his running his family. That is a different thing. But a guru who does not expect anything from you, to him, what is this dhana, etc. So these things should be understood. Okay. So first, Sharira Arpanam. How do you surrender your body? 117. Shri Sadguru ho अभिमत शुश्रूषां बहुतरं कृत्वा मनागपि तत् अज्ञान अति नो तद् आज्ञा अनतिलङ्घनेन वर्तनम् एव शरीरार्पणम् इति उच्यते. What is surrender? Physical surrender. What does that mean? Sharira sarpanam means a physical surrender. What does that mean? Shri Sadguroho Abhimata Shushrusha Bahutaram Krutva. After performing the preferred service to the Guru, Shushrusha means service. The preferred service to the Guru, Bahutaram, after performing multiple times in different forms with different ways. Managapi, that is one. Serving the Guru is one. Second, Managapi, even a little bit. Tat Ajna Anatilangana, not crossing over his injunction, his order, his advice, following his advice. Ajna means order. Here, whatever he tells you becomes an order. So, Anatilanganam, not crossing the order, that is what is called as following that, following his words completely is what is called as a surrender physically. Okay. Now, that is service through body. Now, service through mind. How do you surrender your mind to Guru? So, he says 118. We'll see this. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti.